What's up, guys? I'm Riven.
And I'm Talos.
We're the Studley Boys. Welcome back to another episode of the Studley News Network. In the first half of today's episode, me and Talos are going to react to the Gamescom 2020 showcase, and in the later half, we're going to be joined by our friend and resident Kingdom Hearts expert, Chris Sora. We'll be talking about the Nintendo Direct mini showcase, and we also have some updates regarding the lawsuit going on between Epic Games and Apple. As always, timestamps will be down in the description, as well as links to all the articles we're going to cover. If you liked the video, you can always support us by liking and subscribing.
And also, guys, if you guys want to check out our Twitch, we do stream every Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays together. And we do some like community streams on Wednesday and some surprise streams here and there. But if you guys want to check that out, link to our Twitch in the description down below.
With that being said, let's get on with the news.
Let's do this. All right, guys, starting off strong with the Gamescom 2020. Normally, this event takes place in Germany, Cologne, Germany, to be specific. Due to COVID, obviously, it has to be placed completely online. Similar to our other breakdowns, we're not going to talk about every single game. We're just going to talk about games that kind of stood out to us. But if you do want to watch the live reaction, I did do a live reaction. We're going to have it annotated in the description for you guys to check out. But rolling to the first game that was showcased was Call of Duty.
They didn't really show any gameplay for this. It's mostly just like a cinematic trailer, obviously. But
It looked pretty good, though. It looked pretty damn good.
yes, and the story or whatever they presented in this trailer was it sort of captivated me a little bit. There's a bit of a sort of like cloak and dagger type thing going on here. And I'm not really like a fan of these type of games, but this story really caught my attention.
During the actual trailer itself, they featured, President Ronald Reagan, which is pretty cool. And I thought, whoever voice acted that person, played him to a T, perfectly. And it kind of brought that, that kind of like what Riven was saying, intrigue into the game. And, personally, I never really got into, shooters that much, but a lot of my friends do for sure. And I typically play multiplayer with them. But just from the story that showcased here, if it was co-op, then I would definitely jump in with my friends and they can kind of carry me through the story. They're going to be featuring another trailer, like a multiplayer reveal later in the year, as well as in the actual game itself. You can also create your own character as well. I think I want to say that's the first time ever. I'm not sure if that was ever. Well, you can always customize your character, but you never had to create a character. So I wonder what the extent of that will be. They also mentioned that it's going to have multiple endings as well, which I also believe might be a first. I don't remember multiple endings on previous Call of Duty games, but you can always correct me in the comments down below if I'm incorrect in that analysis.
Alrighty, so on to the next game. This one really caught my attention. Teardown, which is developed by a company called Tuxedo Labs.
I want to say in Canada, a Canadian company.
Yeah. So what's interesting about this is it sort of has like a sort of blocky looking graphics, sort of like Minecraft. But what stood out to me the most is the fact that most of the environments are destructible.
And I think every single part is destructible, actually.
Yes. And I think it's also objective based. So it getting through point A to point B kind of requires you to destroy some of the environments in really clever or thoughtful ways in order to get to one point.
Yeah, and you can also kind of reconstruct it as well to make shortcuts through certain areas. If you watch the trailer, they made these pipes or something you can actually climb across to kind of cut through to certain areas to get that objective mentioned, much quicker.
Yeah, and the graphics are kind of blocky looking, but they're it's not too bad. It's sort of like a more sophisticated version of Minecraft or something like that.
Yeah, and I kind of mentioned this before too. To me, it's not all about graphics. It's all about how it's presented in the gameplay and how fun it is, especially with friends. I'm sure there's gonna be a multiplayer feature as well in it. They didn't show that in this trailer, but I would imagine you can create servers similar to Minecraft, if anything. We're hoping anyway. All right, rolling into the next one is Little Nightmares 2, which is a sequel to a pretty interesting co-op I guess platformer / horror game, I guess. It looks really interesting from the trailer scene. I'm not sure how familiar you are with it, Riven, but to me, I think this is something that we could definitely play during our October horror month.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with it, but it definitely looks good though. It seems to play, some 3D, some 2D, but the thing that stands out to me the most is like the just the way it looks. It's very
Yeah.
it's like dark and spooky looking, and the environments just look very haunting. The word I'm
Yeah,
looking for.
and like it feels like you're controlling like mini toys or something like that, or like it's like miniature characters, and everything around you is like huge and humongous and scary.
Yeah, yeah, but it looks good.
So
Yeah. So it's co-op. It seems to be co-op. I'm
mhm.
guessing there's also like puzzle solving elements as well.
But overall though, like I'm definitely excited for this one. It does have a 2021 release date though, unfortunately. So we'll definitely have to wait when more details are arrived for this game.
Yes, it's February 11th, 2021, and it's available for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Alrighty, moving into our next game, we have another trailer, but they also have gameplay for it as well. It's Star Wars Squadron, which we already covered from our EA breakdown, which was maybe like a month or two ago.
Yeah, about a month ago, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
but from what we saw, it's pretty much just almost a similar gameplay we saw from it. But I think now we're actually given. I'm not sure if it was previously announced in the EA conference, but now there's actually a release date for this. Similar to the what we talked about before, they're saying that there's going to be no microtransactions with this game, as well as I think the game is going to be like $49.99 instead of the usual $69.99 or $59.99 for a game. From what we understand too, any DLCs will also be free as well.
Yeah, not to mention the game will be played fully in VR as well.
Yes, that's a big one. Yep.
It seems to be like standard, like Rogue Squadron type combat. It's like a lot of dogfighting, ship to ship combat.
Yep.
Like
it's gonna look amazing in VR.
Yeah, bombing runs against like Star Destroyers. And I think they did mention that there was multiplayer, right? There's some sort of
yes. I think up to 4 players. I'm thinking, but we'll definitely verify that later.
It's like objective based, though. I think. So the release date is October 2, 2020.
Good stuff.
All right, moving into the next game. Here's the cast reveal trailer to 12 minutes. The trailer here doesn't really reveal much gameplay, but according to this, it's like the main character is caught in a time loop.
Oh yeah.
So I guess I guess he has to relive like moments in his life multiple times, and then
it's kind of like that almost like the Groundhog's experience, but like more horror based. So like something traumatic happened in his life, and he has to relive that exact same moment or a similar moment that's like altered in a small degree depending on like what actions you do. And that in itself is pretty cool. So I'm not sure how it works gameplay wise, but it's definitely an interesting concept.
The most interesting thing about it is the cast of characters. The cast of people they have voicing characters. So they have James McAvoy, who plays
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe and Daisy Ridley as well. So these are like top tier Hollywood actors,
Oh yeah.
I love seeing like all these big actors in video games. So it sort of legitimizes video games as a
medium.
Yeah, as like a proper storytelling medium, and having like a cast like this sort of just cements that.
All right, the next one here is Dragon Age 4. At least the announcement of Dragon Age 4. There was no gameplay. There was really no cinematic trailer even for the most part. But they did show a lot of concept art, which is actually pretty cool. Yeah. I'm a big fan of concept arts. Like I mentioned in the live reaction that I did, where I like to buy like books of like concept arts. And it's kind of cool to see behind the scenes of like stuff that they talk about in the games. And it looks like they might be going back to its roots, because I know a lot of people kind of like worry about BioWare in particular, but it looks pretty good for the most part. I don't know. What do you think about it, Riven?
I'm definitely looking forward to a new Dragon Age game. I played Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age Inquisition, and I loved them both. They were saying how in this game, they're making like the main character like not as powerful. Yeah, so he's gonna be like in the perspective of like a normal guy, whereas in like the first Dragon Age Origin, he sort of had supernatural powers as well as like the main character in Inquisition. So this should be like an interesting, shift in the story.
All right, the next one is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Now, we haven't got a chance to really play any Lego games, but for those that may not know, I love Lego games, and it's always fun. It's always funny, and they're almost their interpretation of like the entire like whatever medium they're portraying. So they encompass all 9 movies all in one game. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your opinion on this?
I mean, it definitely looks good. What I want to know is, I haven't played the other Lego Star Wars games because I know there have been previous Lego Star Wars games that are based on like the the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. So I'm guessing here they're combining everything. They're combining everything.
It's like a ultimate collection type deal. I'm not sure if they're going to be using the same exact story, quote unquote story from the what was already done, or if they're going to be enhancing it more. That's what I was kind of confused on as well when I was watching it. But it still hyped me up to a point because I'm a big Star Wars fan, I'm a big Legos fan, and now you combine it with the comedy. I'm definitely could be hyped for it. So.
Yeah, it definitely seems like some sort of like remake or something, right?
It feels like it, yeah.
Here's my question: were the other Star Wars games voice acted?
Yes,
they were voice acted, right?
I don't remember because I was talking to Holly Tron and she said, "Oh, it's voice acted." So
yeah,
maybe not.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some of the previous Lego Star Wars games weren't voice acted. They were just like either making like noises or it was like pantomime or something like that. But here I noticed it's voice acted, so that's definitely maybe a plus.
Yeah. So, was there a release date on that? I don't remember.
The release date is spring 2021. It comes out for PS4, PS5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. All right, moving on to the next game. Here we have Chorus. Now this is sort of you said it sort of reminded you of Eve.
Yeah, Eve Valkyrie. If you ever played that game, like I was talking to my chat, and it's like they also brought up Eve as well.
Yeah, it's like a space combat game similar to like Star Fox or or what do you call that? Like Star Wars Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron, or something.
Yeah, definitely. Did it mention anything about VR?
Is it available on VR? Don't think so. I don't think so. But it says here it will be available for Xbox One, Stadia, PC, PS5, and PS4. Okay. So, for anyone that's interested in ship-to-ship combat games, this is definitely one to.
They didn't show very much in terms of like story, though. I thought, but gameplay-wise, it does look pretty good if you're into that kind of space shooter, like Riven was talking about.
Yeah.
Fall Guys Season 2, baby. Now, obviously, this game just came out like beginning of August, but it's got such of a big wave of like support, and obviously a lot of people are playing it, downloading it. But they've already announced Season 2, and from what I saw from the trailer, it looks like some of the maps now involve like actually moving objects to get to like platform to platform and getting to that finish line.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of an interesting concept. Of course, they're going to be adding new customizations in terms of like new outfits, but they based it more on like a medieval theme. So now you can actually dress up as a knight. So I'm definitely trying to get that outfit.
Yeah. So yeah, here are a couple of outfits. Like you can dress up as a dragon, a witch, like a Viking, princess. Yeah, and as Talos mentioned, really it's medieval themed, so it's like sort of castles and villages. And
the one thing that was kind of surprising, though, like I kind of want to just bring this up real quick, is the lead designer looks really young. Like I was actually surprised at how young he looks, and so big props to you for making a successful game, man. Big shout out.
Yeah. So far, there isn't any official release date yet, but we'll definitely keep you guys posted on that.
Definitely. All right, rolling into another VR title. Basically, Medal of Honor is back with a game, but like we mentioned, in VR, Above and Beyond. Now, when I first saw this, like graphically, I was talking to my chat, like it looked weird at first. I was like, why is it like that? And then someone brought up, oh yeah, it's in VR, so it kind of like because usually when you expect a game like Medal of Honor, you kind of expect like high graphic output, but like obviously for a VR game, you kind of like to lower your expectation a little bit in terms of graphics. But gameplay wise, it does look pretty cool, and the fact that it is VR also kind of excites me because I am big on VR games. It's definitely a stepping stone too, because obviously, if this is successful, I'm pretty sure you'll see Call of Duty VR games as well coming out as well.
I believe the release date is holiday 2021. He said.
Yeah, it's still a while. So we had an early taste of that game.
All right, moving into the next game. Here we have Spellbreak. Now, I believe this is sort of it's another battle royale style game. Like a lot of developers are pumping them out nowadays. But this sort of like the setting here is more like a fantasy universe. It plays like typical battle royale games, like it's like behind the shoulder point of view. Almost kind of reminds me of if League of Legends was like a battle royale game, because the characters here
I got that vibe.
Yeah, the characters here are sort of like dressed up in like fantasy garb, and they have like magic and fireballs and spells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it will be launching September 3rd, 2020.
The one thing I would have mentioned before we conclude that is this is only the first. We only covered the opening night. Gamescom is actually, I think, 3 or 4 days. We probably won't be talking every single game released throughout the weekend. But if there's anything interesting that appears over the weekend, we'll definitely cover it in the following Stully News episode.
Final thoughts. What did you think about the showcase overall?
The big thing that I wanted to mention, obviously you didn't watch the full live stream of the actual Gamescom, but just talking about the actual event itself, what I did notice that a lot of the production value seemed a little bit off in certain moments. What I noticed, like sometimes the volume for the like certain trailers were like super low, so I would have to like jump up my volume, and then someone cranked it up behind the scenes, and then had to like drop it down, like almost instantly. I also noticed there was a lot of buffering and lagging during some of the conference. It might not be their fault. It might be the YouTube itself that was watching through. But that was one of the, I guess, the critiques that I had with some of the, I guess, presentation of the event. One big thing that they also mentioned too, they also at the at the pre-show, they kind of set your expectations not high, but like average. Like they said, a lot of these games that you're going to be seeing are not like brand new titles. So they kind of set your expectation at a reasonable, area.
Yeah, I can't comment on the actual presentation because when I watched it, I just watched each of the trailers individually. But so far, I'm happy with the quality of games that they had on this. They showed a little bit of gameplay, but they also showed just like cinematics and stuff. So I mean, I rated it was pretty average. Okay, so which ones are you interested in the most? Like maybe like two or three. Yeah, 2 or 3 of them.
I'll have to say Fall Guys Season 2. Probably the Legos one, and probably Little Nightmares 2, and of course Star Wars Squadron.
In terms of the games I'm looking forward to the most, I really like Teardown. I like the destructible environments and the co-op. Definitely looking forward to Star Wars Squadrons. And possibly Dragon Age 4.
But overall, that was Gamescom 2020. All right, guys, rolling into Talos Tidbits now. But before we get started, a word from our sponsors. Today's sponsored video is our Amazon affiliate links.
We set up links to the various equipment we use to stream and produce these shows. Every streamer and YouTuber needs a good mic, which is why we use the Blue Yeti microphone.
The mic that we use offers the crisp audio quality at an affordable price. So definitely check out the links down below for affiliate links, and any support there also supports us right here in the show. All right, rolling into the very first Talos tidbit here is Fall Guys yet again, but this time it is now the most downloaded PS Plus game ever. Now, I'm not sure what it's comparing it to, but according to this article, it's one of the best ones and most downloaded in recent history. Yeah, and of course, this game is still free as of August, so make sure you pick it up before the end of this month, before the new ones roll out. The next one is some Xbox Series X news. Xbox Series X is going to be releasing a new psychological horror known as Martha is Dead, and it looks really good. The game looks like it's coming out sometime in 2021 timeframe. In PS5 news, in regards to the DualSense, patents have been released and suggesting that the next-gen controllers could detect users in terms of like how they hold that controller. I'm not sure if it will be implemented in the PS5, but definitely something to think about. It looks like there's going to be a new series, but a new live-action series, actually, of the Powerpuff Girls. If you guys remember that back in the Cartoon Network days. From what we saw, it's going to take like more of a darker spin, similar to the Riverdale series that kind of portray the Archie comics. In Nintendo Switch news, looks like they're going to be launching a new revamped version early 2021. Obviously, anything we talked about here will be in the description for you guys to read more about. In Cyberpunk news, looks like there's some information about DLC. It looks like it's going to be free DLC alongside some paid expansions, similar to the Witcher series. All right, in Twitch news, looks like streamers are furious over an ad company using their Twitch donations to advertise a company, that company being Burger King. There's even one comment from a streamer saying, sponsor me, Burger King, if you want to use my platform to advertise. In Watchdog news, looks like Watchdog Legions, permadeath is apparently optional now. I remember before it was one of their main like hooks to the game, but now there's actually an option to toggle permadeath on and off. In terms of a Game Award shows, looks like the 2020 Game Award show is still happening, but of course, due to COVID, it's going to be online, and it appears to be the biggest one yet. In PlayStation Plus news, similar to Fall Guys being free last month for the month of August, September has been released, and looks like it's going to be PUBG, as well as Street Fighter V being September's PlayStation Plus free games. That pretty much includes Talos Tidbits. If you guys want to read any of the articles listed, definitely check it out in the description down below. Now back to the main news. All right, guys, rolling into the next big conference from this week was the Nintendo Direct Mini. Joining us in this discussion, we brought in our good friend, Chris Sora. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? It's good to be here.
Yeah, like we mentioned in the intro, Chris is our resident Kingdom Hearts expert, so he's definitely got a lot to say about Melody of Memories.
But he's the one actually looked over the Nintendo Direct. So basically, what are the big ones that you want to talk about, Chris?
Well, obviously Melody of Memory, but I'll leave that last. There was a couple of interesting ones. It's kind of funny that this was the one that Melody of Memory appeared at, because like there's like two different rhythm games involved in this as well. Like it's like they kind of themed it towards rhythm games. There was a nice kind of looking one. There was kind of like one that was like a DJ set. It's called Fuser something.
Yeah, Fuser shows off. Yeah, Fuser.
Yeah. And then they also showed off Taiko no Tatsujin, which was it's
another rhythm.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a nice phone game. I don't know what the retail price on it is,
but it says it's arriving on Nintendo Switch though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So it could already kind of be a phone game.
Yeah, I have a picture on the screen right now. It sort of looks like what do you call that? Parappa the Rapper. I don't know if anyone remembers that game.
Yeah.
It has like that same sort of art style, or like Unjammer Lammy.
Yeah, it's unlike with that one though. This is just kind of a tap, more so than anything.
Right.
Because I feel like there's a bit more variety you could have in Parappa. What I found interesting is Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, so this is like Ready to Rumble Boxing, right? But it's from the same developers. Is that what it is?
I think so. It's it looks very snappy. I think though when I first saw it, I was kind of like okay, fine, this looks okay, but I wish it looked like I wish it was Punch Out.
But according to this though, it looks like it features iconic characters like Rocky Balboa, Aldous Creed, and Victor Drago.
Drago.
Drago,
So
yeah.
is it only Rocky characters though, or is it just like they're like
It,
added characters to like a roster that's already there?
it must be just the Rocky ones, I think.
Yeah, because
I
it
only
says
really
here.
watched the trailer, and it just seemed to be that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it says here it hones your skill in classic Rocky training montages. So yeah, it's definitely Rocky base.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's set to arrive on Nintendo Switch spring 2021.
What I think is interesting is they showed off the Saga Final Fantasy Legend. There's like a
Yes.
trilogy of that. They showed that off, which is
Yeah.
it's interesting because they did the same thing with Trials of Mana. I feel like they're going to bring this franchise back because they did that with the Mana series. They did the trilogy, and then they've gone and done a new one. And I think they're going to do the same with this.
I know that Final Fantasy Legend was like a series on the Game Boy originally. I don't know if this is
Mm.
like a remake of that.
So it's probably a remaster, I would imagine.
From the trailer, it doesn't even kind of look like it. It kind of
really?
kind of looks, yeah, it looks kind of like what did Nintendo call it? It kind of looks like a virtual console version of the three of them. Explore fantasy worlds, fight monsters, customize your characters, explore towns, dungeons, and more, all while taking advantage of high speed mode and other helpful features to make these classics hold up a bit more in modern times.
So yeah,
I-
that's some okay.
I think it will be like with Final Fantasy VII on PS4 and Switch. There's like cheat codes, where you can
Yeah.
turn off random encounters. You can always have limit break, and you can speed up the gameplay time too. I think,
Or like an FF8 where they give you like these cards, like these draws, like right at the start of the match.
Okay.
yeah,
I'm playing the trailer right now. It just seems to be like a port of the original Game Boy games.
it kind of looks like a virtual console kind of thing, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So I was expecting like a remake maybe, but yeah, it just looks like they just
Yeah.
remastered it a little bit.
Okay.
But it does it's kind of nice. Like I like that they are kind of bringing life to these old games that probably nobody would ever play again.
Right. Yeah.
Like
That's a
unless
good
they
point.
played it when they were younger. There was also Jump Force. I think that's interesting that that's coming to Switch.
Hold on.
Did you guys play that?
Force?
No.
Okay, so this is like the Shonen Jump fighting game, right? Jump Force.
Yeah. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was really poorly received. That's why I'm kind of so surprised. I don't think a lot of people really got into it, and also the models of the original looked very action figure-y.
Yeah, they do.
They've obviously had to fix it a bit for Switch. It doesn't look quite as polished.
Hold on, give me a
So-
sec. Yeah, I have the trailer playing in the background now. Okay.
I think the models they kind of don't do well on the Switch just because they look so stiff on the PS4, but that's because they look like action figures. When they look less like action figures, the stiff animations just kind of don't really work, if that makes sense.
And it's,
Yeah.
it's showing here that you can create your own like shonen character, like create your own avatar
Yeah.
here.
Did you guys see the trailer for Captain Tsubasa?
I have that one because it was featured on the Gamescom conference as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it is also coming out for the Switch from what it looks like here tomorrow.
What a
Well, today
weird
actually.
title. Yeah.
Today actually.
What a
It's an arcade-based soccer game, features powerful offensive and defensive moves to gain advantages over your opponents. So looks very interesting
Yeah.
though.
I'm really not sure if it's based on anything. I don't think so.
Well, yeah, I think Captain Tsubasa is a soccer anime though. But like just the way the it's like drawn, it might be like one of the older ones from the
Oh.
90s or something.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
you're
feels
right.
like it. Feels like it.
You're right. It's an 80s manga and anime.
Yeah. Funny enough, it comes out August 27th, which is the time right now that we're recording this video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
by
wow.
video airs, it's probably already out for you guys.
Someone's probably already beaten the
Yeah.
game already.
Apparently, another one coming out today is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered, arriving
Yeah.
on Switch today as well.
It's not getting great reviews.
Oh, really? Why?
They've added voice acting. A lot of people I've seen complaints about
Ooh.
the Moogle talking. He apparently talks way too much. Apparently the
Oh.
co-op isn't great.
Oh, that
the original
sucks.
Crystal Chronicles was a GameCube game,
Yeah.
and obviously it was local co-op. Apparently, the team was given the option of, do you want to do local co-op or multiplayer? You can't do both, and they went for multiplayer because they went, well, obviously that's gonna get the most audience.
Hmm.
Wait, so you
It's
played this?
not good, huh?
You played this before?
I haven't played this before. I just really know of it, and I know the original is really it's a really loved Final Fantasy.
Hmm.
It
A
is
lot
like
of
I like for me, I've always wanted to pick up the Crystal Chronicles, but I never got a
Mhm.
GameCube, so I was never able to play
Oh,
this game. And when I found out about the remastered, I was like super hyped for it. But
yeah,
then
same.
you're telling me that the multiplayer is not that good. That's kind of unfortunate because that's the whole point of Crystal
Yeah.
Chronicles.
Oh yeah, there was Minecraft Dungeon. That's getting a DLC or something.
Yeah, add some more missions, weapons, but it's been out
Mhm.
for a while, so yeah, so
Yeah,
it's more DLC for it.
just more Minecraft Dungeon. I don't really understand the purpose of that game, but I
It's a
mean,
dungeon crawler, basically.
mm,
It's sort of like if you played like
Finding
Diablo.
artifacts.
It's like Diablo, sort of like sort of top down view,
I've
and then
seen people say that like it's basically just Diablo with a Minecraft skin, and I'm like,
Hmm.
that sounds weird. But
Yeah.
okay. We've been waiting for this trailer since we first saw Melody Memory. This is the second trailer.
Yeah.
It got announced in June, and this is the final. Well, the Nintendo Direct trailer is kind of the final trailer. It's just elements of the final trailer that Nintendo showcased off. But we got that in Nintendo Direct, and then today, so like literally less than 24 hours later, Nomura gave a tweet that was something like, "Oh yeah, we've got the final trailer in a few days." He released it in like 22 hours, which is
Mm.
something new for Square Enix. I've never seen Square Enix work so fast.
Hmm.
but but yeah, we got the final trailer today, and we got a lot. There's a lot for Melody and Memories. So there's a great tweet by DualShockers uh, for an article they made going, "The new Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory trailer spoils Kingdom Hearts 3." And it's like, obviously, it happens after it. A few years ago, that he wanted to make a Theatrhythm style Kingdom Hearts game. So Theatrhythm Final Fantasy was the Final Fantasy rhythm game.
Hmm.
And it's on 3DS. Really good. Really would recommend it. This is on Switch, Xbox, and PS4. It's the first Kingdom Hearts game actually ever to come to Switch.
Okay.
So
That's true. Okay.
yeah, and it's set after Kingdom Hearts 3. It's actually I talk about it. I did an analysis video, and I kind of talk about it's going to be weird where the placement is because in the DLC, spoilers for those who haven't played it, but there's a year time skip. So this could happen. Some of this could happen in the year time skip, and some of this could happen afterwards. We don't really quite know, but
Mhm.
it seems like it's really going to flesh out kind of the lore, and it's really going to flesh out Kyrie. And
Okay.
Hmm.
there's it's really interesting. There's different parties that you can swap between. You can be Sora, Donald, Goofy. You can be Roxas, Axel, and Shion as well. You can be kind of Riku, Meow Wow, and they show it in the trailer as well. They show the Komori Bat, which are the two Dream Eaters from Dream Drop Distance.
Mm.
Okay.
So you can really swap and activate your party, and it's an action rhythm game. So you'll probably see it in the gameplay. You're on a little track, and there's Heartless coming at you, and you have to tap at the right time to bring down their health.
Hmm.
And that's kind of how theater rhythm worked as well. And there's different modes. There's kind of a video mode where it's like essentially like an AMV of just kind of different cutscenes will be playing in the background, and you have to just kind of tap to the song while Sora kind of flies above that, like just kind of while you're watching the video. Which Theatrhythm also had a similar kind of thing. There's the mode I just talked about where you're fighting Heartless, which is what it seems the story mode is going to be.
Mhm.
There's a co-op mode, so Kingdom Hearts has co-op now, multiplayer.
Yeah, it looks like it's 8-player local play as well.
That is a Switch exclusive thing, actually.
Oh,
Is the
okay.
the 8-player? Yeah. I think I don't know what it's going to be for Xbox and PS4. I think it might be 4.
Now, is this
But
the first Kingdom Hearts multiplayer game?
no, 358 Days actually did have multiplayer in it, and so did Birth by Sleep. With the PSP, Birth by Sleep didn't get used as much. I know 358 Days had like a mission mode where you could essentially replay the story missions, but with like all your friends, and you could play as any of the Organization 13 or Mickey, Donald, Goofy, or Riku actually, and Sora was like an unlockable character. It it was okay. This is the first one where it's kind of seems to be really implemented, like not as a side feature, but as something that
Oh,
they expect people to use. I mean, I
yeah.
don't think I think it's kind of definitely a selling point because you have co-op and you have versus mode. And versus mode, you can do like different things to the other player's screen depending on how good you are.
Let's talk about the soundtrack. So it's gonna have the typical Kingdom Hearts like soundtracks, like simple and clean and stuff like that, right?
So for Melody and Memory, it's they've announced Simple and Clean is in there. That's the only one we know for sure, but I'm guessing they'll have all of the Utada songs. That Let It Go is in there. They showed that in the trailer.
Oh, so I'm guessing Disney songs will be there, like
Little Mermaid and
Well,
I don't know.
only if they were already in a Kingdom Hearts game, I think.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like I don't think they're gonna have Frollo's song, even though Hunchback was in Dream Drop Distance, because that didn't appear in a Kingdom Hearts.
right, right. So there was a sequence in Kingdom Hearts 2. It was like the part of your world sequence, right? So I assume
they had a lot of the songs in that.
Yeah.
So pretty good.
So I assume it's good.
Everyone hates it, but I loved it.
No, I liked it too. So I'm assuming it's going to be in this game as well, because it's in.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
What else was there? Hang on. Oh, they've also announced over 50 Disney Worlds.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It seems like it might actually have every world that's in the franchise. Like one interesting one is they showed off. So from 0.2, which was like a tech demo for KH3, that was in the 2.8 collection of games. Aqua goes to like this really distorted version of Destiny Islands, and that's where the the final boss takes place of it.
Interesting.
And they've remade it because this whole game is done in the PS2 assets.
Yeah, I've noticed
in PS2 assets.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of good. It gives accessibility to Switch, which is kind of, it branches out the franchise a bit more. I think this game is going to do really well on Switch. I don't know how it's going to do on consoles.
And I assume there's going to be DLC songs as well, like DLC packs. Is that a thing? Because I know the Final Fantasy version was sort of like that, right? You had to buy tracks.
They had some, yeah. They haven't announced anything like that yet. I feel like that would be a post-release thing that they'd announce. Like, I mean, Remind is the first time, funnily enough, for a franchise that's been like constantly pumping out games for like 20 years now. Remind was the first ever game, or Kingdom Hearts 3 was the first ever game to have DLC. 100 songs in a rhythm game is pretty good, I think. Like 140 something songs. So
okay,
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But, paid DLC anyway. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting. I don't know if they will do that, but they might. So I guess we'll really see how it goes. But it does look like a fun action rhythm game. Another feature I kind of just remembered there that I forgot to talk about. It also has that you can unlock like the cutscenes from all the previous games.
Ooh,
and they seem
okay.
to have implemented that for Switch users of like, oh, well, I never played Kingdom Hearts before. What's the story? Nomura actually specifically said that for people who have played the franchise, this is just like your fun rhythm game. And if you haven't played the franchise, it's kind of a fun jumping on point of, well, you're reliving the last 20 years of games. So if you kind of wanted to just get like a quick recap of the story, you could kind of just get this. There's a lot of nitty and gritty in Kingdom Hearts. I don't think like a 2-hour recap would do you, but we'll see.
Yeah. So if you guys want to check out Chris's video, Chris did like an in-depth breakdown of it. So we're gonna leave the link down in the description below. You can go check out his channel. He's an expert on Kingdom Hearts. So if you love Kingdom Hearts, definitely check him out.
All right, guys, rolling into our final article. Of course, joining still with us is Chris Soar. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the updated news on this whole drama between Fortnite or Epic Games in general versus Apple and Google. It was Epic Games that sued Apple. Basically, they filed saying that like they found a way to kind of bypass that by getting it through the Apple Store, where you can just get it from the Epic Store, for example. And of course, Apple found out about it, and of course, it voided their contract.
What this article is saying, so Microsoft is officially stating that they support Epic's request to keep access to the Apple SDK for its Unreal Engine. And we talked about this in the article, how the Unreal Engine fits into all this, because Epic Games is the developer of the Unreal Engine. And
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
the Unreal Engine, like a lot of like smaller developers use it, to make their games.
A lot of bigger ones do too.
Yeah.
Square Enix, like for example, use it now a lot. Kingdom Hearts actually 3 is Unreal Engine 4 because they realized Square Enix used to always make their own engines.
Yeah.
They realized that using an already established engine was better.
Yeah, in regards to like the smaller studios, that they make mobile games that use the Unreal Engine, how it affects them,
Yeah.
Yeah, but the big article that we're going to be referring to today is basically even with the support of Microsoft, it doesn't it doesn't help Epic Games because the court rules with Apple and pretty much basically saying that Apple doesn't have to immediately reinstate Fortnite back into the Apple Store.
Each and every developer has to sign the contract that they have to, whatever they sell in the Apple Store, the Google Store, they have to pay 30% of whatever they make, right?
Yeah, but it definitely looks like for sure Epic Games is not going to take that without fighting. But according to this article real quick, it says here, however, Epic did win its request to block Apple from limiting its ability to provide Unreal Engine for other apps.
This decision by the courts is an unfortunate one for Fortnite players on iOS devices. Fortnite's Chapter 2 Season 4 will launch on August 27th and will all lock out these iPhones and iPad players who won't be able to update the game.
For some reason, eBay, people are selling their iPhones with the Fortnite game with it for like a super high amount. I forget how much they're trying to sell it for.
Oh wow!
Just so people who don't have Fortnite on their phones can still play it. But the thing is, though, one comment mentioned that as soon as you update the Fortnite game on that new iPhone that you just bought for, let's say, $1,000 or whatever, it's going to automatically delete that app. So you just wasted money on this phone that now it's updated, and you don't have access to play it.
Well, the thing is, it requires online connectivity in order for it to work. I remember there was like a story a while back. I don't know if you guys remember Flappy Birds. Remember when they took out Flappy Birds from like this the Google or Apple store. People couldn't get it, so people were selling their phones with it installed. For like hundreds of dollars. But the only problem with that is Flappy Birds was it didn't require online connectivity.
Yeah, exactly.
So
but this game does, obviously. So like obviously those who buy it were probably out of luck in that regard. So
it's interesting that that Microsoft would kind of really back them against Apple and stuff like that.
Yeah, did it say why on that? We didn't really talk about too much about it.
Microsoft's view, there are very few other options for game engines that offer as many functionality as Unreal Engine across multiple platforms, including iOS. So there you go. It's an accessibility issue, they said. If that's what I'm saying. If they take away, like all these small developers who require the Unreal Engine, it's like that takes away probably 80% of the games.
A huge portion, yeah.
Okay, I just pulled the 80% out of my ass.
Fortnite, how does it get rid of is it a case of they got rid of Fortnite? So
no, the thing is,
said, okay, you don't have Unreal Engine, or
well, the thing is, they can ban Epic altogether, and that includes because I believe Epic also still makes money off of other studios using the Epic engine. Sorry, the Unreal
Um,
Engine.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So I'm guessing if what Apple wants to do is they want to cripple their ability to make money off of them. So if they're gonna ban Fortnite, they might extend it to the Unreal Engine as well.
It depends how the court rules it. You know what I mean? So like that's the
Yeah.
big key factor. It depends how the court rules it. But if it's only specific to that game, then it should be fine for other developers using the Unreal Engine. But there's always that what if.
Yeah. So the way that went there was, the court has ruled that, they don't have to put Fortnite on, but Apple has to keep supporting Unreal Engine for other apps.
Right.
Which is 100. I think that's the fairest option, in all honesty. If they don't want to have Fortnite on their store because Epic Games make a lot out of Fortnite. I think they can take a little bit of a dive with, at 30%. But well, I think so anyway. But if they're going to kind of scam out of their contract, I kind of think fair enough. Apple don't want to deal with them on that. I think hurting everyone else because of it is a bad thing, and I like that the court is telling them they need to keep Unreal Engine.
Alrighty, that's it for the news for now. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned. We'll try to keep you guys updated on developing stories. And as usual, if you like the video, feel free to like and subscribe, and comment down below what games that we covered in this video are you most looking forward to the most.
And of course, guys, if you haven't already done so, be sure to follow us on our Twitch. We do stream there every Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays with a surprise stream here and there. And be sure to follow us. And of course, we'll see you on the streams.
Yeah, and thank you guys for having me on. It was a pleasure to be on the Studley Boyz News Network. And if you guys want to follow me, I'm on YouTube at ChrisOra2066, Twitch at the same. On YouTube, as Riven mentioned earlier, I do the Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory trailer analysis, and I hope to do a few more Kingdom Hearts videos coming up soon. I have a nice one about the opening of Kingdom Hearts 3 that I'm currently editing. And if you feel so inclined, please follow me on DLive. I'm trying to get affiliate, so I'd really, really appreciate it.
All right, Studley signing out. See you guys later.
All right, later, guys.